Explain our concerns about the budget and the impact on the residents of New Jersey. I now introduce Richard Brown. He's Executive Director of Monarch Associates and was part of the committee that prepared the white paper. Richard.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I appreciate the comments and introduction by Judy, but I wish I didn't get associated with the white paper because it would be so nice if we were not here talking about these problems. For everything, there is a season and a time for every purpose under heaven. However, this morning we're gathered for something for which there is neither a time nor a purpose. H.R. 1, which we document in the white paper, is a piece of legislation passed by the House of Representatives on February 19th. It cuts $61 billion out of the domestic budget. This came about not because there's a need to cut that money out of the budget, not because there's been a reasoned dialogue that says these programs do not work. Last fall in the campaign, someone pulled out of the thin air and said, we can cut $100 billion out of the domestic budget. And this is how we will show how tough we are on the budget. I think we all realize that in many campaigns, especially in the autumn campaigns, those promises kind of fade like the leaves very quickly. This one didn't. It has stayed there. As a matter of fact, it is not one party, but it is both parties which are competing over how much they can cut. The House said $61 billion. The Senate said, we can do $36 billion. Can we make a deal? And the House said no. We have until April 8th to resolve all of this or the federal government closes down. It's far worse to have the government close than it is to end up with these endless debates. We need to find this resolution to this. As the bishop said before, one of the problems we have is no one is speaking for the poor, no one is speaking for the middle class. The debate is going on without us. What we do today is really not so much to say we are opposed to particulars, because quite honestly, we don't know what the final deal will look like. But we know we can talk about those in concrete terms. And there'll be people speaking after me who will speak about those specific pains and difficulties of the budget that we know is out there now or cause. But what we need to do is begin a dialogue to change how this conversation goes on. It cannot be a one-sided conversation. It cannot just be the political class in Washington talking about cuts as if they don't have an impact on people. We can't have a discussion in which everybody is saying, we have to cut, we have to cut. This is not the time to be talking about cutting the budget. We have stagnant wages, we have high unemployment, we have an economy that has not yet returned from the recession of 2008. This is the time to be talking about how do we invest in people, how do we make our society what it can be, not how do we cut it. Dr. King taught us some time ago, almost a half-century ago, that the ultimate measure of a people is not where they stand in moments of comfort and convenience, but where they stand in times of challenge and controversy. This is that time of challenge and controversy. If we do not speak up, there is no one else who will speak for us. If we do not do as Freehold Valenti said and contact our members of Congress and our senators today, no one else will do it for us. We have to be the ones that change the conversation. We have to be the ones that speak about how do we keep America the greatest country in the world. And that does not happen unless we're putting resources together, that we're supporting people, not supporting those who have much, but supporting those who have very little. Hopefully what we have done today will not end here. Hopefully what this will do will encourage others across the state and across this country to begin to speak out, to take the risk at a time of controversy and challenge. Speak with one voice and say, no, this is not the time. This is the time to invest in our people, to invest in a future for all of us. And if we can do that, if we can begin that here today in Middlesex County, we can make that happen across America. And that is something we can be proud of. That is something that we know is not only the right thing to do, but what we have to do together. So I encourage everyone here to join together, to make those calls, to become the people that cause change to happen in America, to bring us back to a point where we can have a reasoned discussion about the budget. Yes, we do in fact have problems. It has to be a reasonable discussion that looks at everything. It has to be involving a set of principles, simple principles. We all have to pay our fair share. And when the pain comes, it has to affect all of us. It can't be targeted on simple programs that help those with least. It can't be there to affect programs that help the poor. It has to be there for all of us. Thank you for listening to us today. I hope that the speeches that you'll hear after me talking about the impacts will bring it home. But make sure you do what Freehold Valenti said. Make those calls. Call not once, but twice. Keep calling until you get through. Keep calling until the conversation changes. This is too important for us to let it happen to somebody else and let them take the lead. We have to do it. Thank you very much.